forward. There's a lot of doomsaying around this, but we need optimism, we need hope, we need a strategy. So what I'm going to talk about tonight is what that might look like. My name is Del Stone. I'm with ROW, the Working Class Analysis Organizing Alliance, and thanks for being here tonight. So we know that abortion is now banned, or will soon be banned, in almost all of the southeastern United States. North Carolina is an exception. North Carolina is going to be one of the few places in the South without an abortion ban in place. And so what that means is that we're going to see the state become the nearest safe provider for millions of people. This makes abortion access in the state all the more critical to preserve. So there's a three-part plan of action for us to be able to establish the state of North Carolina as a reproductive sanctuary in the South with the goal of making abortion accessible to all. First of all, we need to protect the existing rights that we have in the state. Abortion is legal in North Carolina through the first 20 weeks of pregnancy. A North Carolina law that banned abortions after 20 weeks passed, but was deemed unconstitutional in 2019. And we must maintain the injunction on that law. Abortions after 20 weeks are already incredibly rare, and they're almost always for the health of the person who's pregnant. If that injunction is lifted, people are quite literally going to die. Second, we must advance the cause of reproductive rights. Currently, we have very severe barriers on access to abortion in North Carolina. Despite the fact that it's legal, they made it real hard to get. And if you try to get an abortion here, I'm sure you know. One of these is a 72-hour mandatory waiting period. So you have to wait 72 hours between being approved for an abortion and actually getting one. This is doing nothing but trying to make it difficult to obtain an abortion. It's not medically necessary in the slightest. You're forced to listen to a script provided by the state during this period, which provides medically inaccurate and untrue information. You have to have an ultrasound, none of which is medically necessary, and the only point is to make abortion less accessible. This is not acceptable!
No!
We have to make telemedicine an option for medication abortions, because there's no medically necessary reason that medication abortions have to happen in a clinical setting. We have to expand the number of clinics in North Carolina. Currently, 91 of the 100 counties in the state do not have a provider where you can get an abortion. So even if you're in North Carolina, you may have to travel 4 or 5 hours just to find an abortion, even though it's legal in this state. That's unacceptable. We only have 14 clinics in the state in 9 counties. That needs to be expanded.
Yeah!
And as we see more folks from other states coming to North Carolina to obtain abortions, it's going to be all the more critical that we increase that capacity.
Yeah.
Third, and finally, we need to sanctify the right to abortion in North Carolina. We must keep the pressure up on legislators here. Let them know we will not accept any rollback of our rights. Right now, Democrats in the House of Assembly are preventing Republicans from having a supermajority. With that, they would be able to ram through anti-choice legislation. Republicans have already said that is their top line agenda in January. This is happening months away. So it is worth voting to keep those Democrats in office. But that's not enough. We need firm commitments from all of those who are elected to represent us that they will wholeheartedly support our right to choose what we do with our bodies, what we do with our lives, and what our futures look like. This is critical. If you are denied an abortion, your chances of living in poverty increase by 4 times. This is an issue of class, an issue of economic justice. Abortion rights affect all of us, and no one who's here tonight, no one who is involved in this struggle can stay out of abortion as a critical struggle of an economic justice issue. Populations who are already more likely to be poor are going to be hurt the most, and we know this. If they can't access abortions, we know black people, indigenous people, people of color, immigrant, rural, and LGBTQ people, they're going to be hit the hardest by this, and we cannot let those among us who are already marginalized be further marginalized and further driven into poverty and out of situations of access. It's unacceptable. We know the road ahead is going to be long, and we know we need to start now. If you're here tonight, you are part of this work, and we thank you. We need to keep this issue in focus, keep up the pressure on lawmakers, keep supporting groups like the Carolina Abortion Fund. We would endorse as a place to donate your funds if you have them to make abortion accessible to those who do not have the means to access abortions. Carolina Abortion Fund, yep, support them. This struggle, we know, is only going to intensify in the coming year, and we will not give up our rights without a fight!